Welcome back to our channel. Today we dive into an exciting new development that could reshape the future of Philippine defense and technology. President Marcos Jr. has just created a new advisory council focused on semiconductors and electronics. But what does this mean for the country's Self-Reliant Defense Posture, or SRDP? Stick around as we break it all down. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the Advisory Council, let's talk about why semiconductors and electronics matter in the first place. Semiconductors are the brains behind everything, from your smartphones to your fighter jets. In modern warfare, every missile, drone, radar, and communication system relies on these tiny chips. A solid local production base for semiconductors isn't just good for the economy. It's a strategic asset. For the Philippines, which is aggressively pushing forward with its Self-Reliant Defense Posture, or SRDP, being able to locally produce electronic components for weapon systems means greater independence, security, and resilience. On March 28, 2025, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signed Administrative Order No. 31, creating the Semiconductor and Electronics Industry (SEI) Advisory Council. This new body will serve as the President's primary advisory group for anything related to the sector's growth and competitiveness. Highlight important provisions. Chaired by Special Assistant to the President for Investment and Economic Affairs. Vice Chair, Secretary of Trade. Council includes NADA, Finance, Energy, Science and Tech, Labor, Education, CCHD, TESTA, BCDA, and a private sector rep. Oversees the PSCI roadmap. This is more than a think tank. It's a powerful coordination tool involving the biggest names in Philippine economic and industrial planning. It ensures everyone, from education to finance to energy, is on the same page. So how does this tie into the military? Easy. The SRDP program is focused on building the Philippines' ability to manufacture its own defense assets, from small arms to ships, and possibly even UAVs and advanced radar systems. Every one of these requires electronic components. If we can grow a robust semiconductor industry, we can eventually produce components for missile guidance systems, drones, surveillance equipment, and even communications gear, all in-house. That's a game changer for the military and reduces reliance on foreign suppliers. This aligns perfectly with the Department of National Defense's Rehorizon 3 phase, where the emphasis is now on territorial defense and local production capabilities. Under AO 31, the Department of Trade and Industry is tasked with developing the PSCI roadmap. This strategic plan will lay out the government's goals for the sector, from attracting foreign investment to nurturing local startups to building export capability. More importantly, the roadmap will be aligned with national development goals. That means it's not just a tech roadmap. It's an economic and security blueprint. It brings together public and private stakeholders and emphasizes innovation, training, and infrastructure. Exactly the kinds of foundations SRDP needs to flourish. Another major highlight of AO 31 is the emphasis on human capital. CCHD, TESTA, and DepEd are all part of the council. That means the government is thinking long-term about upskilling Filipinos, producing more engineers, and preparing the next generation of workers for high-tech industries. You can't build a local defense industry if you don't have the engineers to design or the technicians to assemble and maintain the systems. This initiative solves that by focusing not just on machines, but on people. This advisory council is more than just bureaucracy. It's a signal that the Philippines is serious about claiming its space in the global high-tech economy. And in doing so, it's also building the very foundations of national security and strategic independence. In the short term, we can expect more incentives for tech investment, more coordination among agencies, and maybe even new defense tech startups under the SRDP banner. In the long term, the Philippines could be manufacturing advanced subsystems for its own ships, planes, and missile systems. AO-31 may not make headlines the way military deals do. But make no mistake, this is one of the most strategic moves by the Marcos administration yet. A stronger semiconductor industry means a stronger economy and a stronger military. But let's zoom out a bit. Why now? The Philippines isn't alone in making semiconductors a national priority. All across the Indo-Pacific, countries are scrambling to secure their chip supply chains. The US, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan are forming semiconductor alliances to counter China's grip on key technologies. By creating this advisory council, the Philippines is signaling its intention to be part of that network, not just as a consumer, but as a contributor. This also opens the door to deeper defense industrial cooperation with allies. Imagine this. If the Philippines starts manufacturing defense-grade semiconductors or components locally, it can become a viable partner in joint development projects, not just buying finished weapons systems, but co-developing parts of them. That's a huge leap forward for a country still catching up in defense tech. Some examples. Local firms could eventually produce circuit boards for fire control systems, chips for guided munitions, or sensor arrays for naval platforms. Even AI-enabled decision-making systems, used in everything from unmanned vehicles to battlefield command centers, require specific chips optimized for machine learning. These are all future opportunities if the ecosystem is built right. And this has implications for cybersecurity too. If critical electronics are made locally, there's better assurance they're not compromised by foreign actors. That's vital in a world where cyber espionage and digital sabotage are becoming major threats. The next steps will be crucial. The SEI Advisory Council must avoid becoming a ceremonial body. It needs real funding, authority, and follow-through. Pilot programs with universities, tech zones offering tax breaks, partnerships with defense agencies. These will be the real test of AO-31's legacy. What do you think of this development? Could this finally push the Philippines into true defense self-reliance? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more defense and tech insights from the Philippines and beyond.